Combat Logs by Darryl Zuber. Episode 2. The General. The day before General Williams arrived at Oak Tree, First Lieutenant Dave Thompson was assigned as her staff pilot. The General was flying in from Washington, D.C. Lieutenant Thompson was waiting for the General at Oak Tree ahead of the General's C-54. Oak Tree was the 777th Air Force headquarters in England at the time. Lieutenant Thompson was to fly her down to Honington. The General's C-54 developed engine trouble over Ireland but is continuing on. The General's flight arrived at 1800 hours. Lieutenant Thompson's crew quickly moved the General and all her staff over to his C-47. A major storm was moving in on Oak Tree, so they got underway. Lieutenant Thompson informed the General that it was sucked in down at Honington, but the General wanted to go anyway. She was gambling that they would find a hole in the weather and would be able to land. They got clearance to take off just minutes before the approaching storm and proceeded to Honington. The General's flight arrived over Honington and it was sucked in. Lieutenant Thompson informed the General that they could only orbit for 45 minutes and then they would have to proceed to the alternate.
Transport Golf Niner Yankee. This is Honington radar. There's a hole opening in the weather 7 miles north of you on your current heading at 4,500. If you can slip through, you will be 1 mile west of the glide slope. Contact Honington Tower when you have the runway in sight.
Army Golf Niner Yankee to Honington radar. Roger. Clouds clear 5 miles southwest at 4,000. Turning to heading 036.
Lieutenant Thompson saw the opening in the weather and made preparations to land.
Flaps down. Landing gear done. Army Transport Golf Niner Yankee to Honington Tower. Roger, have the runway in sight.
Honington Tower to Army Transport Golf Niner Yankee. You are clear to land. Runway 1.
Honington ground to Golf Niner Yankee. Exit runway at taxiway Charlie. Proceed to south parking using taxiways Charlie, Alpha, and Echo.
Roger, taxi to parking via taxiway Charlie, Alpha, Echo.
The General's plane parked at the ramp. They all got off. The General and her party piled into her staff car and they headed over to operations. It rained all the rest of that night. General Williams assumed command from Acting Base Commander Lieutenant Colonel Mike Henderson. The General and her staff went right to work reviewing all the latest reports. The next morning it was still raining. The bad weather went on for 2 more weeks. That was April 17, 1943.